York. She loves jumpsuits and her tiny dog, Tuna. Ladies and gentlemen, Molly Bond. And our final contestant is from the Boston area. He got his start before coming to Bon Appetit in the Vogue fashion department. True story. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Morocco. Oh wait, I need to switch seats with you. I need to buy. I'm buying these things. All right, hold on. We got to switch seats. All right, I'm gonna lose my game show voice. All right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go kind of contestant by contestant about sort of getting what it's like to be a editor in the test kitchen at Bon Appetit, what it entails, and all that sort of stuff. And we're just gonna get started. Molly, we're gonna start with you. All right. First question. Who is the messiest person in the test kitchen?
Is she allowed to name herself?
I'm gonna go with myself.
Really?
Yeah. If I'm being
It's
honest,
unanimous.
I think it's me.
Okay, all right, good one. Chris Morocco, you're up next.
All right.
What non-test kitchen staffer is always around, and what
Alex
is their
Delaney.
excuse for being there?
Alex Delaney by a factor of like 20. Honestly, I don't know what brings him down there, even like as a pretense, 20 times a day. But
Espresso
he's there.
often.
Espresso.
We have an espresso machine in the test kitchen. It's quite the gathering place. All right, we're gonna keep moving. Andy Bergani, let's get you in here. All right. Would you rather, talking to the microphone,
Yes.
Balenciaga sneakers or custom-made mortar and pestle?
Balenciaga sneakers or custom mortar and pestle? Well, I already have Balenciaga sneakers.
Yeah.
So the custom mortar and pestle.
All right, serious question. Mortar and pestle, I feel like do most of us buy the wrong type of mortar and pestle?
Yes, absolutely. I think they go for, I'm going to go into this. They tend to buy mortar and pestles that are too small. I was just talking to Molly's dad
Shout
about
out to
this.
my dad.
Yeah, wherever he is. It needs to be at least 8 inches wide, about 2.5, 3 inches deep.
But what
Andy
material?
has, like,
is it
five mortar-
marble?
I
or
go.
is
You
it...
could do marble, any kind of stone. I go for that. If you're for your very first one, I have 10. That's the one I would go for. Something made with stone.
All right, Chris Morocco. What's the one thing that's not worth making at home?
Oh, God. Probably ketchup. I mean, don't bother.
Oh, good lord.
I'm just saying.
Okay. Molly, how about you next? Okay. Looking for a good one. We highlighted the good ones. That's an interesting one. What is your favorite way to cook a chicken thigh? If you ever read Bon Appetit or follow us, at times we're basically chicken thigh quarterly.
Yeah.
There's no sort of chicken thigh recipes.
That's an easy one for me. I think it's always the cold pan method, which I learned from Master Morocco over here. It is skin side down in a cold cast iron pan, so bone-in skin on chicken thighs, and you bring them up gently from cold, and what happens is the fat renders out really slowly, and what you're left with is a shatteringly crisp chicken skin, and no seizing up of the skin or bubbling or bursting of oil. So it's basically a foolproof way to get like the crispiest skin ever.
Then can you add in any other sort of ingredients in there, or?
Yeah, but we're talking chicken thighs.
No, I mean like in the pan, like you can yes.
Sure. So then you can flip
They make
the
you feel so
thighs.
dumb so often. Honest question.
Flip the chicken thighs, add other aromatics, build your sauce, yada yada.
Okay, Andy Bergani, what was your biggest recipe developing fail?
I can
Okay,
answer.
I knew this was gonna.
I can answer for you if you need it.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, Chris, you go first.
Well, Chris and myself, we Station 3, always and forever. We share a station. He knows this, and I've spoken about it. I've written about it. I think my biggest failure to date, it would be the peach story from August. 2016. I'm never gonna let go, Carla. I'm never gonna let go.
It still made the cover though.
It kind of. It was a
Wait,
peach.
what cover?
The simple issue.
Oh, the simple. That wasn't a recipe. That was just a peach.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't develop a recipe for just a peach.
Didn't we kill that story?
You killed the whole story. The whole story.
Except the peach on the cover.
It went online, but I think just.
But as a developer, why was that so challenging?
I think, well, one, I remember Carla reaching out to me. She said she wants to do a peach story. We were shooting it a year before when peaches were in season.
Yeah, just to clarify that, like, if we want to have a peach on our August cover, we literally have to shoot it 12 months before, because when we're making the August issue, that's like in May or June, and you're not getting good peaches
exactly. And Carla kind of, you can come out here if I'm saying it right, if I'm not saying it correctly, but it was just going to be a peach dessert story, and that it doesn't need to be traditional, and I can just kind of do whatever I want and go from there. This was like a year, and I think I was still very, very nervous. I don't think I was nervous anymore. But then it became the simple issue, and I had to develop peach dessert recipes using 5 ingredients or less, and I am not Claire. So it was, and if you guys have ever seen any videos or look at my recipes, I don't do a lot of desserts. So it was just very hard. It was just crunch time. I don't like the way it was shot. I don't like the art direction.
I didn't need it. We killed it.
Yeah.
Did you feel bad about yourself afterwards?
A deep, deep depression. Well, I won't get into that, but it's that. Peach stories.
All right, Molly Boggs. Be honest on this one, all right? Do you ever read your YouTube comments, and what are the best and worst you've received? I want one of each.
Okay. Yes, I read the YouTube comments. I used to read more of them. I've trained myself not to comb through all of them, but let's be honest, we all read them.
No.
Andy.
I don't read yours.
There's literally no way that you don't read the comments.
I really don't. They just send them to me.
Okay, best and worst. 2 pop out when I think of the worst. One, and I get this kind of often, which is kind of a bummer. Congrats on the pregnancy.
Wow!
Seriously, I think it's the big jumpsuit, so it's my fault. And 2, I got one recently that was, you look like a dumb hipster, please jump off the building.
All right, do you have any good ones to share?
Yeah, there's good ones. There was one that said, I think it was on the last video, that said, Molly is a future cool mom for sure. I'm living for that.
Andy Barragani, this one is from Brett. Well, hold on, I'm the MC here. This one's from Brad Leone. True or false? True or false? You once checked out your reflection in the side of a mixing bowl.
True. That is absolutely true.
Yeah. Yes. All right. This is an interesting one which could apply to all you, but Chris, I'm going to throw it at you. Given your job, do you actually eat dinner when you go home?
Ooh, yeah, I used to, just because I felt like that's just what you do in the evening, right? You go home and you eat dinner.
That and drink.
Yeah, exactly. But I suddenly realized maybe about a year ago or so, I didn't need to do that anymore. And I literally lost like 15 pounds.
You're looking pretty svelte.
Yeah, exactly.
But then how do you but you have 2 kids?
Yeah.
You have a wife. How do you interact? So often, as families, that's where we sort of convene, is at the dinner table.
Sure, but I mean, the kids need to eat at 5:30.
They're young kids, yeah.
So they're young, and they need to eat way earlier than us. So I'll eat like a very modest dinner, but like later on. It used to be that I came home, had 1 glass of wine, maybe a piece of cheese, a dried fig. Who knows?
Who are you, Alice Waters?
I wish. No. And then I would eat an whole meal on top of that. So now it's like, okay, I don't get to drink until the kids get into bed. So like,
isn't that the best tasting drink ever? Like when your kids are actually asleep and you're like, yes.
You literally want to spike something down on the kitchen floor. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you at least make your wife dinner? Or is she on her own?
Yeah, no. She would not stand for being left to her own devices. She's probably she's texting me like back there, just like, what am I supposed to eat? When are you coming home?
All right, Molly Boz, what is the one kitchen tool you can't live without?
Cutting board and
No, you get
chef's
one.
knife
You get
aside.
one. Okay. Aside, okay.
At home, the one tool that I use the most is kind of random, is my mini prep food processor, which is a food processor that holds about 1 pint or maybe 1.5 cups. And I literally use it every night. It's like vinaigrettes, any kind of sauce, marinade.
Why can't you just use their hand for a vinaigrette?
Yeah, super mom.
You said you are a mom?
Because I just feel like it's easier, and the cleanup is easy. Like, it's just one little bowl, and I can just dump everything in that I want, and it zips it away from me, and everything's emulsified and beautiful, and it's just a great tool.
Okay.
Don't hate on the mini prep.
Andy Bariani, what's the most elaborate step you've taken to ensure your food looks good while styling a shoot?
We haven't been styling as much lately. The one recipe that comes to mind is BA's Best Pesto, which the original photo, we use an outside stylist that will not be named.
Explain a stylist as opposed to a recipe developer, what their job is.
A food stylist comes in, freelancer that we hire, and they will style a recipe or a few different recipes for a story.
A recipe that Andy lovingly developed, and they come in and just do
Yeah, they take my recipe and they make it more beautiful. They should make it more beautiful than I can make it. So I didn't think this photo was a great version of BA's Best Pesto. So I called the photo editor, Emma Fishman, and not as politely as I should have, just as like, I hate this photo, I don't care what's going on, and we need to reshoot it, and I'm gonna style it, and we're never hiring this person ever again. But that was a little harsh, so eventually I apologized, but I did style it, and I'm okay with the photo.
Wait, wasn't it just a bowl of pesto?
No, there was 2 photos, the bowl of pesto and then the pesto with the noodles. I don't like the photo with the noodles.
Serious question. Anyway, I love pesto and I make it all the time every summer. I always struggle, and I'm sure other people do there. You make the pesto, and then next thing you know, it's like army green, like 6 seconds later, and you're like, why in the photos is it so bright green and my photos not?
Oh, talk to the photo editor.
Well, what did you do to ensure that it was bright green?
What did I do? I didn't blanch the basil or anything like that. It was actually, it was made in a food processor. I pulsed the garlic.
Not a mortar and pestle?
Not a mortar and pestle. I haven't got time for that. But pulsed the garlic, pine nuts, salt, until it's really finely ground, and then add the basil and trim in the oil, kind of all at once with the basil and oil going, so that you're not processing the basil so much, so that the blade doesn't cut up the basil and bruise it so much to the point that it darkens so quickly.
And then you fold in the grated cheese at the end?
And then, no, I take that back. I pulse in the cheese with the pine nuts and garlic.
All right, Molly Boggs. I think this is your question. Just make sure. No, it's Chris Morocco. Sorry, Molly. Chris, is there a piece of BA wisdom you've dispensed with in the past, or that you've dispensed in the past that you just don't stand by anymore?
Oh, God. Andy, you might have to answer this one for me, but I can't.
I would say, well, I used to always, I know it's so not grilling season right now, but we used to be so into like the lump hardwood charcoal.
Yeah.
You ever get that in the big shards of like charcoal, but it's like so hot and burns so fast that eventually you're like, oh, you know what, actual just traditional non-soaked briquettes give you a steadier flame for grilling.
For sure, yeah, and I actually, it made me think back to when we did the brisket story, and I was like out in the middle of the winter, you know, and I had a like lump charcoal fire going in one grill, and I had a gas grill going side by side with that. And the gas grill, even for smoking, you know, when you've got something going for 12 hours or whatever, I mean, that certainly was incredible. And I think I probably would have been like a massive snob about a gas grill before that. So, you know, I'm definitely not past it now.
My boss.
Yeah.
Best prank you've pulled on a staffer in the test kitchen.
Well, this is an easy one. Che, my good friend Che, Christina Che, pulled up at my station in the test kitchen and dropped her turkey sandwich on my station, which she had got from the cafeteria, which already I don't really approve of.
Where's Che? You went to the turkey sandwiches? Good sandwiches as a meal.
She went and got a turkey and Munster sandwich, from.
Shout out to Conde Cap, best restaurant.
Shout out to Conde Cap, worst place ever. And walked into the test kitchen all kerfluffled like she does all the time and dropped it on my station and then just left it there for like 2 hours. And so I snuck into the walk-in and I grabbed a couple habaneros and I quickly sliced them.
Raw ones?
This was last week. Where were you?
I don't know. It was out last week.
Yeah,
So just raw ones, not
Raw.
pickled? Yeah.
Raw, couple habaneros, thinly sliced. So I opened the sandwich up and then I unfolded the lettuce and I tucked, they were green, the habaneros, so I tucked them back in so that they would get disguised in the lettuce.
How is she?
And then Delaney was in on it with me, it wasn't just me.
Oh, sure. It's got
And Che came back like 2 hours later and like slowly started making her way through the sandwich and started saying things like, well, those aren't banana peppers. And she got up, basically.
Jay. Okay, your boss, hyphen boss, Adam, is notoriously, oh, this is for you, Andy. All right.